Hey everyone, welcome back to Global Insights. Today, we're diving into a fascinating comparison: the state of infrastructure in India versus Europe in 2025. From highways to high-speed trains, airports to urban planning, how do these two regions stack up? India is on a mission to transform its economy with massive infrastructure projects, while Europe's long been a benchmark for seamless connectivity and sustainability. Buckle up for a 23-minute journey through roads, rails, and realities. Setting the stage. Narrator, let's start with some context. Infrastructure, think roads, railways, airports, power grids, and digital networks, is the backbone of any economy. It's what keeps goods moving, people connected, and cities thriving. India, with its 1.4 billion people and a fast-growing economy, is pouring billions into catching up. Europe, home to 750 million across 44 countries, has had decades to refine its systems, but it's not resting on its laurels. Both regions face unique challenges. India's tackling rapid urbanization and population growth, while Europe's balancing sustainability with aging infrastructure. India's infrastructure boom. Narrator, let's zoom into India first. In 2025, India's infrastructure story is one of ambition. The government's National Infrastructure Pipeline aims to invest $1.4 trillion by 2025, with a focus on transport, energy, and urban development. Take roads, for example. The Bharatmala project is building 34,800 kilometers of highways, connecting 550 districts. Ever heard of the Delhi-Mumbai Expressway? It's slashing travel time between these megacities from 24 hours to 12. Impressive, right? Then there's rail. India's railway network, one of the world's largest, is getting a high-speed makeover. The Mumbai-Ahmedabad bullet train, backed by Japan, is set to hit 320 km per hour by 2028. Airports are booming too. India plans to double its airport count to 220 by 2030, with schemes like UDAN making air travel affordable for smaller towns. But it's not just about scale. India's pushing sustainability. The government's betting big on renewable energy, with solar and wind projects popping up nationwide. The India-Japan Fund, for instance, is pumping $600 million into low-carbon projects. Digital infrastructure's also a priority. Public Wi-Fi and 5G are rolling out fast, especially in urban hubs like Bengaluru and Hyderabad. Sounds like a dream, but India's got hurdles. First, funding. Even with $1.4 trillion, urban infrastructure alone needs $840 billion over the next 15 years. Public-private partnerships are helping, but private investors want clearer regulations and faster approvals. Land acquisition's another headache. Unlike China, where the government owns most land, India's fragmented ownership slows projects down. Then there's quality. A Reddit user summed it up: Indian infrastructure feels like rough drafts, published and forgotten. Potholes, incomplete projects, and urban planning gaps are real issues. Cities like Mumbai and Delhi are bursting at the seams, with traffic jams and water shortages. Only 88% of Indians have access to clean drinking water, compared to 100% in top European nations. Execution speed's improving, but delays still inflate costs. Now, let's cross over to Europe. If infrastructure were a sport, Europe would be a seasoned Olympian. Countries like Switzerland, Denmark, and Germany consistently top global rankings for infrastructure quality. Take Switzerland, scoring 88.4 on the World Competitiveness Ranking. Its trains run like clockwork, and its roads wind through Alps with precision. Denmark's got cycling lanes so good, they're practically tourist attractions. Europe's strength is integration. High-speed rail networks like the Eurostar connect London, Paris, and Brussels in hours. The Trans-European Transport Network is knitting the continent closer, with projects like the Brenner Base Tunnel boosting freight and passenger flows. Airports? Europe's got over 3,000, with hubs like Frankfurt and Amsterdam handling millions seamlessly. Sustainability's Europe's trump card. Over 40% of Europe's energy comes from renewables, and cities like Copenhagen aim for carbon neutrality by 2030. Digital infrastructure's top-notch too. Scandinavia's 5G coverage is near universal. Even smaller nations like Estonia are digital pioneers, with e-governance systems that make bureaucracy a breeze. But Europe's not perfect. Aging infrastructure is a big issue. The UK, for instance, has bridges and roads from the Victorian era needing costly upgrades. Investment levels vary. While the UK spends 2.3% of its budget on infrastructure, Germany's at 1.2%. Eastern Europe, like Romania, lags behind, with only 10% of residents satisfied with their infrastructure. Climate change is another hurdle. Floods and heatwaves are testing Europe's resilience, pushing governments to retrofit infrastructure for extreme weather. And then there's bureaucracy. Cross-border projects often get tangled in red tape, delaying progress. Brexit hasn't helped either, complicating UK-EU transport links. So, how do India and Europe compare? Let's break it down. Scale? India's projects are massive, driven by sheer need. Europe's more about refinement than expansion. Investment? India's spending 5 to 6% of GDP on infrastructure, edging out Europe's average of 5%. But Europe's per capita spending, $1,200 annually, dwarfs India's $120. Qualities where Europe shines. Its infrastructure is reliable, efficient, and sustainable. India's improving but struggles with consistency. Accessibility? Europe's got near universal access to electricity, water, and internet. India's at 79% for electricity and 88% for water. Speed of execution? India's catching up, but Europe's decades of experience give it an edge. Innovation? Both are pushing boundaries. India's Gati Shakti plan uses AI to streamline projects, while Europe's betting on autonomous vehicles and smart cities. Future outlook? India's trajectory is steep. By 2035, its urban population will hit 640 million, demanding more investment. Europe's focusing on green upgrades to stay ahead. So, who wins? It's not a simple answer. India's infrastructure is a work in progress, fueled by ambition and necessity. It's closing the gap but needs time to match Europe's polish. Europe, meanwhile, sets the gold standard but must innovate to stay relevant. Both regions are investing heavily, adapting to new realities, and shaping their futures. What's clear is this: infrastructure isn't just concrete and steel, it's about people, progress, and potential. India's building for a billion dreams, Europe's sustaining a connected continent. Who do you think is on the right track? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more global stories. Want us to compare infrastructure in other regions? Let us know below. Until next time, keep exploring the world with us.